Good morning, everybody. So Miss Natalie usually tells us that a reminder that this is a recorded one, so I can't see you. You can see me, but I can't see you. So if you need something, you can type in the chat. I see Aiden and Zoe typing. I see some shapes and I see some letters. So I'm not sure if you're telling me something specific or if you're just having fun typing. Let's see, our theme this week is I love my community. So like we usually do, we'll read a book. I have a craft. We're gonna make, I'll show you two types of mobiles today. This is one of them that Nathan and I made this morning. And then I'll show you another kind as well. See that? So that's what we'll make today. And then at the end, we might just do a little freeze dance or put on a song and dance around or something like that today. I don't have a song that necessarily goes with our theme. I think we'll just dance and have fun. Take a little movement break. All right, so let's get our things ready. We're gonna need today paper. We're gonna need markers, crayons, or colored pencils. We're gonna need scissors. We're gonna need a glue stick. Glue stick will be easiest and quickest to dry, but if you want to, you could do liquid glue. I know some of you are older. Oh, I see lots of letters. Who is that? Is that, yeah, Aiden and Zoe have lots of letters going on in there. Paper. Something to color with or write with, glue stick, scissors. Now, if you also have a hanger, like my hanger, or a stick, you could also use a stick. That would be great too, but you can, I see your hand up, Aiden and Zoe, but I can't call on you. So if you need help to put something in the chat and a grown-up is there to help you, that would be great. Oh boy, here's my kitty. All my babies, sorry. If you don't have a stick or you don't have a coat hanger, that's okay. We'll make all the rest of it and then I'll show you how to attach it. Oh, and the last thing is any kind of string. If you don't have string, that's okay. It's always okay. I'll show you how to make a string out of paper or a string-ish type of thing out of paper. All right, so let's see. I think let's assume that you have most of what you need. If you need to run and grab something, run and grab it. Also think about if you want to have a softie or a puppet or a stuffy or whatever you call that to listen to the story with you to help with your wiggle jiggles, that's okay. So why don't you go ahead and run, grab anything you need to grab and we'll come right back. Let's see, I think I'll count backwards from 10 today, all right? So here we go. Get any of those things that you don't need. Now, if you need to go outside to grab a stick or something, don't do that right now. You can do that later. I'll show you how to do it. And then you can get your stick later and then tie all your strings on or glue your papers to it. All right, so anything except what you might need to get outside. We'll say 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, you ready? Do you have your space kind of cleared? My space is a little bit messy today. Didn't get quite as much cleared as I like to. All right, our book today is called Last Stop on Market Street. This is written by Matt de la Peña and it's illustrated, remember the person who draws the pictures, by Christian Robinson. One of my favorite books. And maybe you'll be able to see why it's one of my favorite books. Okay. Pretty good, yeah? CJ pushed through the church doors, skipped down the steps. The outside air smelled like freedom, but it also smelled like rain, which freckled CJ's shirt and dripped down his nose. He ducked under his Nana's umbrella, saying, "How come we gotta wait for the bus in all this wet?" "Trees get thirsty too," his Nana told him. "Don't you see that big one drinking through a straw?" CJ looked for a long time, but never saw a straw. Do you see a straw? From the bus stop, he watched water pool on flower petals, watched rain patter against the windshield of a nearby car. His friend Colby climbed in, gave CJ a wave, and drove off with his dad. "Nana, how come we don't got a car?" The bus creaked to a stop in front of them. It sighed and sagged, and the doors swung open. "What's that I see?" Mr. Dennis asked. He pulled a coin from behind CJ's ear, placed it in his palm. Nana laughed her deep laugh and pushed CJ along. How do people do that? Pull coins behind the ear. They sat right up front. The man across the way was tuning a guitar. An old woman with curlers had butterflies in a jar. Nana gave everyone a great big smile and said, "Good afternoon." She made sure CJ did the same. The bus lurched forward and stopped, lurched forward and stopped. Nana hummed as she knit. "How come we always gotta go here after church?" CJ said. "Miguel and Colby never have to go nowhere." "I feel sorry for those boys," she told him. "They'll never get a chance to meet Bobo or the sunglass man. And I hear Trixie got herself a brand new hat." CJ stared out the window, feeling sorry for himself. He watched cars zip by on either side, watched a group of boys hop curbs on bikes. A man climbed aboard with a spotted dog. CJ gave up his seat. "How come that man can't see?" "Boy, what do you know about seeing?" Nana told him. "Some people watch the world with their ears." "That's a fact. Their noses too," said the man, sniffing at the air. "That's a mighty fine perfume you're wearing today, man." Nana squeezed the man's hand and laughed her deep laugh. Two older boys got on next. CJ watched as they moved on by and stood in the back. "Sure wish I had one of those," he said. Nana set down her knitting. "What for? You got the real live thing sitting across from you. Why don't you ask the man if he'll play us a song?" CJ didn't have to. The guitar player was already plucking strings and beginning to sing. "To feel the magic of music," the blind man whispered. "I like to close my eyes." Nana closed hers too. So did CJ and the spotted dog. And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the bus, out of the busy city. He saw sunset colors swirling over crashing waves, saw a family of hawks slicing through the sky, saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew full and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him a feeling of magic. Incredible how music can do that, isn't it? You ever closed your eyes to listen to music? If you haven't, give it a try. See if it works for you too. And if it doesn't, that's okay. The song ended and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys in the back. Nana glanced at the coin in CJ's palm. CJ dropped it in the man's hat. Last stop on Market Street, Mr. Dennis called. Do you remember Mr. Dennis is the bus driver? CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus. Crumbling sidewalks and broken down doors, graffiti tagged windows and boarded up stores. He reached for his Nana's hand. How come it's always so dirty over here? She smiled and pointed to the sky. Sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful. CJ saw the perfect rainbow arcing over their soup kitchen. He wondered how his Nana always found beautiful where he never even thought to look. That's important. I'm going to read that part again, okay? CJ saw the perfect rainbow arcing over their soup kitchen. Remember, Nana told him to look up at the sky? He wondered how his Nana always found beautiful where he never even thought to look. He looked all around them again, at the bus rounding the corner out of sight, and the broken street lamps still lit up bright, and the stray cat shadows moving across the wall. When he spotted their familiar faces in the window, he said, I'm glad we came. There's Sunglasses Man and the lady who, I think she got a new hat. Remember they were talking about the people on the bus? He thought his Nana might laugh her deep laugh, but she didn't. She patted him on the head and told him, me too, CJ. Now, come on. So why did Nana and CJ hop on the bus? They were going to the soup kitchen, right? And what were they doing at the soup kitchen? I think they were helping others, right? Yep, there's Nana. She's got her big pot of soup or her big pot of something that she's getting ready to share. And here's the people they were talking about on the bus and some other people too. They were going to help people, right? And sometimes we can go to the soup kitchen to get some help for ourselves, right? So that is one of my favorite books because it's about looking for beautiful things where you think you might not see them, and also being part of our community and all of the people who are in our community, and also helping others. So our craft today is going to be about thinking for ourselves about things you love about your community. So we're going to start with a big, what do you love about our world? And then, what do you love about our community? And then, what do you love about your family? And then, what do you love about yourself? And you might have only one thing, and some things might be hard to think about. It might be hard to recognize something that you love about, I don't know, your community. Or sometimes you might have a whole bunch of them. So it's your choice how you want to use all of your ideas in our craft, all right? So we're gonna make a mobile. We need something to, a mobile is just an object that has things hanging, right? So you need something to hang things from. So if you have a hanger, that's perfect. If not, that's okay, because you can also get a stick from outside. And if you don't have your stick yet, that's all right. I'll show you how to attach all of these things. So we'll make the things on the bottom, and if you don't have anything to attach them to, you can do that later today, all right? And then all of the things on the bottom are the different things I was just talking about. So the first one is I love my world. And then I wrote on the other side, I love nature. Nature is one of the things I love about our world. So if you want to, you can write on both sides, or you can just write on one side, write the thing that you specifically love about our world. All right. And then let's see what's next. The next one is community. And I wrote, I love my friends. But you could also write things like, I love that our community helps each other. Or I love that I can do camp in my community. Any of those things, okay? The next one is, I love my family. And then I wrote, I love laughing with my family. So I wrote something specific that I love about my family. And then I wrote, I love myself is the last one. And I wrote, I love being a mom. But you could also write something like, I love my hair. Or I love that I am kind. Any of those things that you want to write about yourself, you can do that. So I did yellow hearts. Nathan chose to do, so I put mine and Nathan's, well, Nathan and I put both of ours on the same mobile. We put them together. So if you want to do that with your family, you can too, or you can make separate. Nathan made all different shapes. This one kind of looks like a green bean, doesn't it? He made all different shapes with his. And he only chose to do one. He chose to do I love my family. And he wrote, I love my dogs. See that? And he chose not to write anything on the other side. All right, are you ready to do it? Okay, so the first thing we're gonna need to do is get your paper. It can be colored paper or it can be white paper. And if I'm gonna do, I think I'll do some orange this time. We can probably do this with just one piece of paper, but if you want to do all different colors, you can do that too. I just like to conserve paper, but you can do all different kinds of colors. And you can also decorate. Like, we didn't decorate our shapes, but you could do lots and lots and lots of decorating. So maybe I'll do a little decorating this morning. All right, so choose your paper, and then you could decide if you're going to do everything one shape, or decide if you want to do a bunch of different shapes. But the challenge is we need to have 2 of every shape you do. So we want 4 things, but we're going to glue them together, so you need a paired match. So you might choose to do 2 pieces of paper. Yeah, so you cut them out at the same time so that they're a paired match. Or you can use my trick. Remember, I've been talking about this. You all have been in camp with me before. Well, the firefighters are emptying the fire hydrant into the street, so the street is all flooded out in front. You can choose to fold your paper in half, and then your shapes will be a little bit smaller. It doesn't really matter how big or small your shapes are. You could make huge shapes, so that gives you lots of space to write lots of things or to do a lot of decorating, or you could do some small shapes. Remember, Nathan did his pretty small, but then he had a little bit of a hard time writing what he wanted to write on there. So think about that too. Make sure it's big enough to write what you want to write. Okay, so let me give you some hints. Hearts. Do you remember I've taught you how to make hearts before so that they have the symmetry? I'm going to use one of my scrap papers to show you. So I'm going to fold my paper in half, remember? And then I'm going to draw my half of a heart. Remember that? Draw my half of a heart, and then I'm going to cut that out. Because I did my half of a heart on the fold, I'll end up with a full heart. So make sure you're doing it on the fold, not on the loose side, but on the fold side. All right. Let me just show you hearts first, and then I'll show you circles. And then from there, I think you can do pretty much any shape you want. All right, so I've got a heart, but look at that. I only got one heart, so how am I going to get another heart that perfectly matches up to this? Old-fashioned way, we'll trace it. So put it on your paper. Make sure you got enough space with other things you might have cut out if you're using scrap paper. I'm going to trace it with my marker, like a pattern, right? Trace, trace, trace. See that? And now I can cut it out. Now, because I traced the exact same shape, they should match up pretty good. Does it matter if they're perfect? Do they have to be perfect matches? No. Matter of fact, I just did a funny cut and I already know this is not going to be a perfect match. But that's okay, because they're pretty close. All right? Okay, so that's hearts. Let me show you a suggestion for making circles. Find something that's circle shaped. This is my vitamins. Find something that's circle shaped. And then put it on your paper. Remember, this is my doubled paper, my folded paper, so I'm going to get 2. If I cut a circle, I'm going to get 2. I'm just going to trace that around. Lucky hears people outside. There's some kids playing in the flooded street, so he's grumbling and growling a little bit. All right, so because I traced my circle onto a folded up piece of paper, I got 2, and they're matched. So I showed you hearts and I showed you circles, but they can really be any shape you want. They could be hands, you could trace your hands. Nathan made a triangle, he made that green bean shape. You could make any kind of shape you want. So we want 4 shapes, but we want each shape to have a double. So if you want to freehand draw something, like Nathan chose to just freehand draw his circle. I'm not a very good circle drawer, so I like to trace my circles. So let's get 4 shapes that have a match, okay? Let's see. What other 2 shapes do I want to make here? I'm going to make something else to trace. I'm going to make this funny shape. See, it's not quite a circle. See my trace? All right, I'm tracing my funny circles that aren't really circles. And I'm going to cut them at the same time that I have matches. But you could also trace them twice, you know. Try to get a match. My funny shaped circles. All right, I'm going to do my 4th one. I think I'll freehand that one. I'm going to do it like a cloud. or maybe a flower. I'll cut that one out in doubles too. Remember, my paper's still folded. Okay. My 4 shapes. I'm going to give another couple of minutes before I tell you the next step, because I know I'm a fast cutter. If you're already done with your shapes and you're waiting with me, you can start to decorate your shapes if you want to. Save room to write some words, though, at least on one side. You don't have to write words on both sides. You don't have to write words at all, but I'd like you to. Are you ready? Choose one shape. We're gonna write on the first one, something you love about the world. Something you love about the world. On mine, I wrote, I love nature. Remember that? This time, I think I'm gonna write, I think I'm gonna write, I love how different people are. I love that everybody's not the same in our world. I love that people are all different. All right. And then I'm just going to set that aside. We're going to do all of our writing first, and then we'll put them together, and then you can continue decorating them. If you don't write words yet, maybe if there's some younger kids here, you can either ask a sibling to help you, or you can draw a picture of what you love about the world, your world. What do you love? Do you hear Nathan singing? All right, are you ready for the next one? This one is, what is something you love about your community? So last time I wrote, oh, I love my friends, because my friends are in my community, right? You could also write something about, I love how our community helps each other, or I love that we live by the lake, or I love playing at the park, or going to the beach, or I love running into my friends when I take a walk. I think that's what I'm going to write this time. I love that I can just go take a walk or a bike ride and run into my friends. I said, I love that I can see my friends by surprise. Oh, I like surprise, see my friend. So remember, if you don't know how to spell something, just use your sound power and do your best. Or you can draw the picture. You don't have to write all the words. Draw the picture. I'll give another minute. If you're writing the words fast, you can decorate.
Nick's not in the front.
I think they went ahead and left. So we can go over there later. We need to drop off something for them. Decorated my backside. So the next one is, I love my family. And you can write or draw a picture about something you love about your family. On my last one, I wrote, I love laughing with my family, being silly. And Nathan wrote, I love my dogs, remember? You could also write things like, I love going to the soup kitchen to volunteer with my family. Or I love riding the bus with my family, remember, like on our book? Or I love taking bike rides with my family, or I love movie night with my family, or whatever it is about your family that you just love. And remember, you might have lots of things. You might choose to write lots of things. And I may not be giving you enough time to write or draw everything you want to draw, and that's okay, because remember, you can always come back and do more later. All right, so this time I'm gonna write about my family. What do I love about my family? There's so many things. about going on adventures with my family, but look, my shape is really small, so I'm going to have to write really small or use both sides. So I wrote, I love adventures with my family. I give you another minute. And then we've got one more, and then we have to start gluing them together, and I'll show you how to do your strings or make strings. All right, here's our last one. This one is something that you love about yourself. So I love my kindness, or I love being a helper, or I wrote on my last one, I love being a mom. So you can write whatever you want to put on there. I love myself, that you love about yourself. All right, this is our last one, right? Either write or draw the picture. Something you love about yourself. I'm going to write on here, I love dancing. I love my dancing. Yeah, I give you another minute. I don't have very much string left, so my last strings are going to be short. All right, are you ready? So, whatever kind of string you have, I have thin yellow string. Some of you might have yarn, some of you might not have string. Hold on a second if you don't have string. I'm going to put glue stick. And remember, I like to put it on paper so I don't get glue stick all over the table. Put glue stick all over. And then I'm going to lay my string inside. And then put my other shape right on top. The new one in your room, in your Pokemon bin. That looks great. All right, so what we end up with is your string coming out of the middle of your two pieces of paper, your two shapes glued together. Okay, so we're going to do that for all four shapes. Put your glue stick on one side. Lay your string in. And then put your other one right on top. Match them up. Okay. Yeah. Keep going until you've done all four of them. No, nobody. Is it under on your nightstand or under your bed? Oops, I forgot to put my string in. Let me try again. Oh, good. Nathan's looking for something. Okay. Now, if you feel like you want to decorate more, I haven't given you enough time to decorate, that's okay. You can always decorate more later, right? And you can make as many of these as you want. You could make a separate shape for everything you love about your world and everything you love about your community and everything you love about your family and everything you love about yourself. You could have a mobile with like 50 shapes on there. That would be amazing, right? All right. I'll give you one more second to finish gluing together, and then I'm going to show you what's next. If you're not completely done gluing, that's okay. I'll just show you. So I'm going to add my shapes to the mobile that Nathan and I started this morning. If you don't have a hanger, remember you can go get a stick later. So all you're going to do is, see if I can attach this to my hair. All you're going to do is tie each one of these around the thing. See? If your strings are different, oh, I forgot to show you how to, if you don't have strings, what to do. If you don't have strings, very simple. You're going to cut a little strip of paper. Yeah? Cut a little strip of paper and then use that instead of a string. Do you see that? If you have a string, you're going to tie it around your thing, your hanging thing. If you have a piece of paper, you're going to wrap it around and then put a little piece of glue on there. Does that make sense? So if you're using a piece of paper, still stick it in between your two shapes, a paper string, stick it in between your two shapes. So you're gluing it in on that end, and then you're going to wrap the other end around the hanger or stick and glue it or tape it down. Works exactly the same way, right? And it'll still move around a little bit and all that. You still have your mobile feeling. Okay. I can't hold it and show you at the same time, I'm sorry. Now, the hanger already has a hanger, right? If you're using a stick, it's just going to be a straight line that you're going to put all your things on. Then you can tie another piece of string on this end, on the outside of your last string that you tied on, and on this side, and then tie them at the top to make this triangle shape, and then you can hang it. You see? You can hang it on the wall, you can hang it maybe from your ceiling. Ask your family first though, or follow the rules of your house, whoever you live with. All right. We are all done. And I think I ran out of time for a song. But I think that you can do some freeze dance, right? Or some free dance, however you want to do it. So turn on a song you like and dance, dance, dance all around. See if you can dance with your whole body really big and medium, and dance really teeny tiny, and then medium, and then really big again, okay? So dance, dance, dance. And the last thing I would like to put out is one of those things that you love. What's one thing you can do today to show that you love that one thing? So for example, I love nature was my world one. I am going to make sure and go outside and take care of some plants today. I'm going to fertilize them and water them and take care of them so that they'll keep growing. I've been doing a good job of taking care of them. So we have a lot of butterflies this year and a lot of bees, which is good because those are pollinators, and the pollinators help other plants grow, which helps our food grow, which helps us, and it also helps nature. So one thing that you can do, maybe it's just to go give your family a hug when we hang up, or maybe it's to write your friend a note and say, I love seeing you when we play at the playground, or one thing that you can do to show your love to one of the things that you chose today, okay? All right, everybody, thanks for joining. I'm so glad to see you all today.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Miss Laura.
Thank you, Miss Natalie.
Virtual hug, everybody. We'll see you.
Bye.